to the Psychosin project here on Total Metal Radio. I'm here backstage at the Islington Academy, almost forgot the place, here with Charlotte from Delain. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you so much.
So how's the tour going so far?
The tour is going really great. We are on our 4th date now, and we've been having, 3 out of 4 sold out so far. So that's pretty good, and we've been getting great response. We've been mixing up the set list like every day.
Yeah.
So a lot of the diehard people who come, like, every show, they get to see different things as well. So yeah, it's been good.
So that's been a bit confusing while you're doing the rehearsals for this tour as well, trying to rehearse several songs.
Exactly. We just use all the sound checks for practice, basically.
Yeah.
If we're putting a new song in the set, so that works out.
Yeah, okay. How have you found the reaction to the Human Contradiction has been since it's been released?
I think it has been really good, and I think it's an album that really opened doors for us. If you look at both the support tours that we've done, we've done amazing tours with In Temptation, Sabaton, with Nightwish, in different territories, also places where we've never been before. Like just last week we were in Peru and Colombia and Ecuador, and that is I really feel that it has done a lot for us in that respect. And also when you just look at the music itself and the way people have responded to that, I think people really like the album.
Yeah.
And of course that is great satisfaction as a musician as well, to hear that people just really like what you've been doing, and it kind of feels as like an affirmation of your instincts.
Yeah, I mean, I did a review of it for my YouTube channel when it came out. I think personally it's the best album you've done so far, obviously. Could be it with the next album, who knows?
Well, thanks. I mean, I really like to hear that.
No problem. Now, how do you choose which of the new songs to play live when you have a new album just out?
It's kind of trial and error, really. Sometimes we try some songs live and we think they don't work, or so we don't try them, or some of them worked really well. We played almost every time, like Army of Dolls is one that's almost constantly on the set list, and just recently we've added Lullaby to the set list, because this is one of the songs that never really used to work with one guitarist, but last week we've permanently added Miro Bertold, who's been playing with us for quite some time, to our lineup as a second guitarist. And now we find that the song all of a sudden works, because on the record we never think about how we're going to pull something off live, and if that means that there is 6 important guitar bits playing at the same time, then we'll go for it for the record. But sometimes when you play live, you don't want to put, we do have some backing vocals and orchestral tracks on tape, but you don't want to put everything on tape.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's all about the live experience, so you don't want, so that one we didn't play so much because we thought it needed too much backup power, and now that we can do them. So we just try to look at what works, and like I said, this tour we mix it around every day. So.
So adding second guitars to sort of opened up the possibilities for the band as well for live gigs.
Yeah, of course, personally it's been a really good choice, because she really fits well with the group, but also musically we really, really noticed the difference of having, that bit of extra guitar power on stage.
Yeah. Now, what does the future hold for the band?
Well, we're heading for our 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Our first album, Lucidity, was released in September of 2006. So next year will be, our anniversary year of our decade in music, and we will have a new album coming out. That's one thing. We're already writing for it. We have a lot of the songs ready. We're already playing one of the songs on this tour. It's a little tryout, and. But we're also planning to do something special to appropriately celebrate our 10 years.
No clues as to what that is going to be, no?
Not too much, no.
Now, talk about the new album that you said you'll be working on. Are there any guests you're hoping to get onto it on some of the songs?
But as a rule, I don't really talk about that before we officially announce them, because the thing is, if I say which artists I would like now, then if we do get them, it's not a surprise anymore, and if we don't get them, everybody will know that we failed. So
now, obviously, as I said, last album, Human Contradiction, and you said yourself, it's done really well for you. Absolutely superb album. Has there been any pressure in trying to improve upon what you did with the previous album?
Well, to be honest, with We Are the Others, I am really, really happy with that album. It might be, when I look at some of the songs, I think that my favorites are actually on that one. But we've had such struggles getting the album out, and that kind of casts a shade over it in a way when we look back at the process. And what we really wanted to do when that album was finally released was to just go back and make music, and make as much music as we possibly can. So we hadn't had a release for a few years before We Are the Others, and after that we had We Are the Others in 2012, then we had Interlude in 2013, and then we had Theme and Contradiction in 2014. So for us, I think what we were really thinking about back then was also, we just want to make the music and not be limited or have it be pushed back by bureaucratic bullshit, basically. I'm not sure if I can say that on radio, but
it's fine. It's fine. It's internet radio. So.
Good. Okay. Perfect. But so we were just really happy that we could go into the writing room because we had new A&R people from the new record label that we didn't really choose to work with, and everybody worked from their best intention, and they were all very good people, but from a band kind of perspective, they were just people that we hardly knew that were coming in and telling us, we would like to see this and that, and we were like, well, we would like you to, well, anyway. And so it was for us just very nice and refreshing to go back to the writing table and have that complete freedom, because Napalm Records, who we are working with now, with both Interlude and the Human Contradiction and the upcoming record, they that's a whole different kind of deal and a whole different kind of ball game, and you just know from the way that they approached us back then that there is a very initial kind of trust in the thing that we are doing. Which is very different from being with a major label like Warner, where we ended up by accident, where they're just thinking of what kind of potential this band might have if we bent them in this or that direction, which, they didn't know us back then, so I cannot blame them, but if they knew us a little bit better and knew how stubborn we were, then they would have known from the start that it would be very hard to bend this in any direction. So this is really, really, really much better. And so, like I said, the pressure wasn't so much on can we top that one. It was more that we just really wanted to write without those kind of limitations, and we succeeded in that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Now, how's the live show changed over the years?
I think that nowadays, I think the louder songs, they seem to work very well live. I'm always a sucker for a good ballad, and I like when there's kind of the dynamic in the show where you also have a little more quiet moment, but those have become a little bit more scarce, because we tend to play the loudest stuff during our live shows, and a lot of people have told us like, oh, well, I didn't quite expect your show to be so happy, but I really like it because it does get the party going, and we keep experimenting with it. Also, when it comes to the production, we keep on adding nice stuff to it. I have a fab new mic stand that it's like white, and it has lights in it, and it's incorporated in the light show, so you will see it tonight.
Right.
That it flashes in all colors, and it's like a lightsaber. It's so cool.
And just in time with the new Star Wars film coming out as well.
Yeah. And and we get the smoke, and with the light show, and with the setup of everything, we just try to make it. We try to make it like very energetic. We try to make it visually appealing, and basically we're just trying to build the kind of show that we would enjoy looking at ourselves, because this is the thing that's most important. The people who look at it enjoy it. So
Excellent. Now, have you found that social media such as Facebook, Twitter, etc., has been a help or a hindrance sometimes in getting the band's name out there?
I think it's definitely a help. I don't know if I'm saying that from a professional or from a very Facebook addicted point of view, but I started doing Twitter actually in 2008,
Yeah.
and I became wildly addicted to it. There's been really moments where I was tweeting like at least 10 times a day, but that stopped actually once we had the label trouble with We Are the Others, because I really felt at that point that, you know, I was always very happy-go-lucky on Twitter, because I don't like people who say bad stuff about other people on social media, or who bash their label, or, you know, by now I'm kind of willing to admit during interviews and stuff that the label situation we were in back then wasn't good, you know. Back when we were going to Warner, I was still saying, oh, it's such a big label, well, aren't we lucky? But so I kind of had to stop it then, because it was I had the choice of either lying and saying that everything was really cool, that our album was being delayed and stuff, or being really negative.
Yeah.
So I cut that down a bit. Now I'm kind of on normal social media levels, and I think that it's a very good way to keep a closer contact to the people who who buy your music and who buy your tickets and who basically who are basically making it possible for us to do what we want to do. So I think that's a very important feature.
Now, when you're writing lyrics for Delain songs, are there any particular films or books that you've read that help influence the way the songs go?
Yeah, definitely. I think mostly during my studies, I was very influenced by the books that I had to read and all the theory behind it. And I think The Human Contradiction is probably the album where most of that theoretical stuff worked itself into the lyrics, especially if you look at, you know, a song like Tell Me Mechanics is basically like a conversation between two French philosophers.
Yeah.
And so this really influences me. And for example, tonight we're playing a very first new song from the album that is still to come, and this one is actually from the perspective of the character of Death from Neil Gaiman's Sandman series.
Oh, right, yeah.
I'm not sure if we can keep it that way, because we have to get approval of DC Comics.
Which could be difficult.
Which could be difficult to actually use it. But I would really, really like to use it. And I thought it would be I thought that we could ask permission at Neil Gaiman himself, but the rights are actually with DC Comics.
Yeah.
So, so I don't even know if this lyric's going to stay, but it's just another example of, you know, especially books. Books have a bigger influences than movies. Movies are often still a bit, you know, with books there is still a part of your imagination that fills in how things look or how, and with films I think too much is laid out for you already.
Yeah.
I like reading a lot more than watching movies, because the kind of the gaps or the kind of the windows that it opens, that is where you continue to do the work. And sometimes there's great movies that still have you question things, and but sometimes movies do all the work for you. That's also why if I really need to relax, I'd rather watch a movie than read a book. But I mean, for, you know, the kind of intellectual satisfaction, I think books do better.
Now, has there been any interesting events that have happened so far on this tour?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've had 3 fantastic shows. We've played that song for the very first time. For me, that's always nerve-wracking when you're about to play a song like that for the very first time, and you're going to see the response, and you just hope that after you finish the song, people are not like, you know. So no, that was really cool, and we've had some good parties already. I'm not doing a lot of partying on this tour because we got 16 shows in 18 days, so I'm mainly drinking a lot of water and try to get enough sleep. But other than that, it's all been fantastic. We have actually on these dates, we have the Gentle Storm with us, which is great, and I love the band. And obviously Merel Bertold, who is our second guitarist at the moment, now permanently, she's also in the Gentle Storm, so she's doing double shifts this tour. And the second supports on this tour, we actually picked ourselves through a competition.
Oh.
And we asked bands to send in their music, and the winners could play on these gigs. And we've got like hundreds and hundreds of bands sending in their stuff, and we picked the bands that are here tonight. So it's also every night like very, very, very cool to see, what the bands that we picked are actually doing. And I'm really looking forward to Courtesans tonight as well, because I really love that track. So,
now, where are you hoping that the next album will take the band?
Well, I think that we're doing really cool on this album. Like, we never toured so much as we do, and we are still very fast and really relaxed in the way that we write the songs. And what I'm hoping that the next album will do is basically I just want to keep going like this. Want to open more doors and travel more countries, and there's this certain drive to just make music, and for me that is the strongest. So as long as we can keep doing that, I do feel that now we're touring so much that we have little time for the actual creative process, and we've been working together for years by now. So if we sit down together to write a song, we can always write a song. There's no problem there. But I would like to tour so much that we can afford to take the time for the upcoming creative process. Because this is very important, because everything that bands do, basically recording albums and the production, and even touring support tours or tours to countries like America, South America, we don't earn money on that. Those are investments. So I'm hoping that we can do a lot of tours like this, where we're headlining, so we can actually make sure that we can afford to actually take a few days to spend into that process.
And fine tune the songs as well for the next album.
Exactly. We really have to find the balance, and I think that as a band, to reach that point where you have that very healthy balance between really being passionate about that creative process and putting the time in it that I absolutely need, and on the other hand doing all of those tours that we enjoy so much. I think that you kind of succeeded. And maybe some personal time is I keep forgetting that one, but maybe some personal time as well. But we generally don't do holidays and stuff, or somewhere in between. I think if you can reach that, like a good balance, then you can count yourself very, very lucky as a band.
Now, where's your favourite place to visit on tour?
Portland, in North America.
How come?
Because it's like paradise. They have all these vegan pizza places and little coffee places, and they have loads of like second-hand clothing shops and all these artsy fartsy stuff, and it's like you'll see more dreadlocks there in a day than you see anywhere in a year. It's like totally a hippie paradise. I love it. I usually save a bit of money so I can go shopping in Portland if we have the time to go there. And other places that I really like is I really love I really love London, but we don't really have the time to go around today. And I also really like Glasgow.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so those are some places.
Now, finally, are there any bands that you're listening to that you can recommend to my listeners who may not have heard of them yet?
Well, at the moment, I am non-stop listening to Infected Mushroom.
Oh yeah, I know.
I love it. So that's definitely one I would recommend. It's a bit all over the place. They have really, really different tracks, really like rocky, and then other tracks are like really drum and bass weirdness, and but it's really, 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 really cool, and it's good music to both chill and run to. Yeah.
So, who knows, maybe in the future you get them either supporting you or you playing with them at some point.
Who knows? It will be fabulous.
Anyway, Charlotte, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charlotte from Delain.